السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Welcome to Quranic Arabic Academy, Arabic Grammar Made Easy, lesson number 13. Alhamdulillah, we have taken this journey of learning Arabic grammar to understand the Quran. In the beginning lessons, we have learned some terms of Arabic grammar. We started with learning the ism or a word, kalima. The kalima is three types: ism, fi'l, and harf. Then regarding ism, we've learned there's gender, there's number, there's person. In gender, we've learned mudhakkar and muannas, masculine and feminine. In number, we've learned wahid, gives a singular meaning, muthanna gives dual meaning, and then jama gives plural meaning. In person, the third person, ghaib, the second person, mukhatab, the first person, mutakallim. As we said, we'll be going through each of them in more details on every lesson, or a lesson for each of them. So today we're going to learn more about gender, mudhakkar and muannas. Then after that we started learning about fi'l. Fi'l is two types. One is al-fi'l al-madi. That fi'l gives the meaning of an action in the past tense. And number two, al-fi'l al-mudari'. That gives us meaning the present and the future tense. We started learning al-fi'l al-madi, and we went through the conjugation of al-fi'l al-madi. We've looked at different types of fi'l in terms of when there is alif comes in the middle. Those type of fi'ls are called ajwaf. Then we've learned when we see waw or ya at the end, the last letter of a fi'l, that's called naqis. Then we've looked when there's two letters the same, the last letter and the middle letter are the same, or second to last letter same. Those type of fi'ls are called mudha'af, which conjugated each and every type of this fi'l. Alhamdulillah, so far we've been learning fi'l al-madi. So I hope every one of us, we've learned al-fi'l al-madi, and we understood that fi'l madi has 14 sigas, 14 forms, or 14 patterns, or 14 wazn. Now, before going to next fi'l, al-fi'l al-mudari', so let's go through these, some of the things, because we need to know when we use fi'l, we need to know the doer, the fa'il, is it mudhakkar or muannas? We need to know if the fa'il in terms of number is a wahid or muthanna or jama'. So today's lesson we're going to learn more about gender. Lesson number 13, gender. Arabic isms are of two types in regards to gender. Number one, mudhakkar, masculine. Number two, muannas, feminine. We are familiar with these two terms, mudhakkar, muannas. Even when we did the damir, we had mudhakkar, muannas. When we did the conjugation of al-fi'l al-madi, we had mudhakkar and muannas, masculine and feminine. All Arabic isms are default mudhakkar. Okay, any ism in front of us will consider is mudhakkar unless we specifically know it is muannas, feminine. So how are we going to specifically know? This is what we're going to learn today. How to find an ism, or how to know the ism is muannas. In English, objects do not have gender, but in Arabic, all asma have a gender. English, for people, we use he or she, differentiate in gender. But for objects, we use it. There's no difference in object. He is a boy, she is a girl, it is a book. Because we need to know is it feminine? So let's go through some of the signs that we're going to see on feminine isms, muannas isms. An ism can be muannas in 4 ways. Number 1, it is muannas by definition. Muannas by definition. Here I have a little boy here. Let me just put him away, otherwise he'll disturb us. Just 1 minute. So there's 4 ways to find an ism muannas. Number 1, it is muannas by definition, and muannas by nature. Okay. So this type of isms, we don't need any signs. We know is muannas by nature or definition. Number 2, it ends with ta marbuta, the round ta, and alif or alif maksura. If on the last letter of an ism is fatha, then there will be ya. That's called alif maksura. It is also written like this. So we'll have a little alif on the last letter and then ya. So both of these are called alif maksura. And number 3, it ends with alif mamduda. That is ending with alif and hamza. This is alif mamduda. Number 3, body parts in pairs. All the parts we have on our body that are in pairs, they are all muannas. And number 4, feminine, as heard from the Arabs. Number 4, we will not see any signs, but Arab, they use as feminine. Those words are feminine. We're going to go through these one by one. Number 1, muannas by definition. Number 2, ends with signs. Number 1 is ta marbuta. Number 2, alif maksura. Number 3, alif mamduda. Body parts, obvious, they will have no signs at all. As long as we know it's body part in pairs, we'll consider or we use as muannas. And number 4, ism, heard from the Arabs. They using or used using as muannas. Definition by feminine by definition. Those nouns that cannot be used for male. Either it has one of the signs, ta marbuta, alif maksura, or alif mamduda, or it doesn't have any signs. They cannot be used for male. That's what we mean by feminine by definition. Naturally, they are feminine. Examples: ummun, mother; bintun, daughter. See, we don't see any signs of feminine. There's no ta marbuta, there's no alif maksura, there's no alif mamduda, but they are feminine by definition. Ummun, mother, we all know. Bintun, daughter. Ukhtun, sister. And look at this word, hamilun, pregnant. Obvious, only a muannas can be pregnant. So for this word, we don't need to use the ta marbut at the end, hamilun. By definition, they're muannas. Number 2, feminine isms ends with ta marbuta, alif maksura, or alif mamduda. The 3 most common signs of muannas are: number 1, ta marbuta, at the end of an ism. So any ism will see around the ta marbuta, will know that ism is muannas. Let's go through some examples. Jannatun, garden, we have round ta at the end. Ayatun, hijaratun, stone, not s, just stone. But these are all wahid isms. Sa'atun, watch or time. Ghurfatun, room. Baqaratun, cow. Alif maksura, at the end of an ism. I've written both ways. Kubra, fatha, on the last letter, then the ya is also alif maksura. We have to stretch when we pronounce kubra. This is, we know, there's alif on the last letter. The way we stretch this, we're going to stretch this as well, because they're both alif maksura. Biggest for feminine. Sughra, smallest, female, feminine. Husna, beautiful, female. Then alif mamduda at the end of an ism. Sahra'u, desert. Safra'u, yellow. Sawda'u, black, for female, feminine. I don't know if you have noticed something here. In the beginning of lessons, we've learned the default of every ism will have dhammatayn. In tanween, it will have tanween. Default is dhammatayn. These words we can understand. Kubra, because there's alif maksura, obviously they're not going to have tanween. But over this one, the last letter, here, I didn't put any tanween. Sahra'u, safra'u, sawda'u, only one dhamma. So when do we, what is the rule that we've learned? When can an ism have one حركة. Can anyone answer me that? When can an ism have one حركة, not tanween? So these are the three signs we look for to know if the ism is muannas. Number one, ta marbuta. Number two, alif maksura. Number three, alif mamduda. Number one, ta marbuta. Number two, alif maksura. Number three, alif mamduda. Okay, when I ask you a question, remember I will not asking you anything that we haven't learned in this course yet. If you know it from before, mashallah, good. But for the beginners, they don't know these things. Like mudaf, mabni, ghair munsarif. I'm not going to ask you regarding that because we haven't done that yet. I will be asking only that we have learned. We've learned one of the things that when ism only can have one haraka. I'm asking you that. Anyone? All these answers are good, but I'm not going to accept those because we haven't done them. We haven't learned them. Only the thing we've learned, I'm asking you that. When an ism does not accept tanween. No, come on, wake up. Think. Very simple, we know this. Yes, good, well done. It has alif lam. When ism has alif lam, no tanween. Is what we've learned. Okay. Now, these ism, they don't have alif lam, but still they're having no tanween. Now from here, yes, some of you answered, will know there are some isms, they don't accept tanween. There are some isms, they don't accept tanween, even though they don't have alif lam. Yes, they are called ghair munsarif. We'll have a lesson for that, ghair munsarif. So remember, these are the ghair munsarif isms. They don't accept tanween. Sahra'u, Safra'u, Sawda'u. But we are learning the signs of muannas. So this is called alif mamduda. Alif and hamza at the end of an ism. Number three, body parts that are in pairs, as we've learned. Most parts of the body in pairs are muannas. Let's go through them. Aynun, eye, udhunun, ear, yadun, hand, rijlun, leg, qadamun, foot. Because all these isms in pairs, aynun, two eyes, udhunun, two ears, yadun, two hands, rijlun, two legs, qadamun, two feet. These are all feminine. So remember this, body parts, those are in pairs. Those are singular, they'll be mudhakkar. Like nose, mouth, head. What about shoulders? Shoulders. Katifun. مذكر ومؤنث. shoulder كتف. Yes, come on, answer quickly. كتف shoulder مذكر ومؤنث. body parts in pairs. Yes, they are مؤنث because they're in pairs. Number 4, feminine as heard from the Arab. No, not مذكر, مؤنث, because we have 2 shoulders, right? Okay, there are some small number of nouns that are muannas for no specific reason. They are not muannas by definition. They are not muannas with signs. They are not body parts, but no specific reason. We have to learn them. They are muannas and accept them as feminine because the Arabs said they are feminine nouns, heard from the Arabs. Like narun, fire, shamsun, sun, rihun, wind, hamrun, wine, nafsun, self, ardun, earth. There'll be some other nouns in this list. We'll look at those nouns. Masculine by definition. Some nouns can have muannas sign at the end of an ism, but they are masculine by definition. By nature, they are masculine, but we will see some signs. But because they are masculine by definition, we'll use them as masculine. They're treated as masculine. For example, name of people, Hamza too. There's a Tadian Hamza. Talha too. Talha. Zakaria, Alif, and Hamza at the end, which is Alif Mamduda. So Zakar is spelled in 2 ways, either with the Hamza or without the Hamza. Zakaria. So this is what we mean by masculine by definition. We will see signs of muannas, but they are mudhakkar. Okay, adjectives or adjective nouns are made feminine by adding ta marbuta. So when we learn adjective nouns, obviously we learn mudhakkar first. Because adjective can also be used as feminine, we need to make that into feminine by adding ta marbuta at the end. These are the examples. Kabirun, big, make it feminine. Kabiratun. Saghirun, mudhakkar. Saghiratun, muannas, small. Tawilun, muannas. Tawilatun, just adding the ta at the end. Long. Qasirun, short. Thaqilun, heavy. And khafifun, light. So all the words coming in today's lesson, that is our vocabulary, we memorize all these isms. Okay, describing nouns, adjective and describing the same thing, but just remember, describing nouns are made feminine also by adding the marbut at the end. When we have a word, a noun, that it is a description noun. We'll see some example. Muslimun, make this into feminine. Muslimatun. Salihun, adding ta marbuta salihatun. Talibun, student. Talibatun. Abidun, abidatun. Kafirun, kafiratun. Any other description isms? Jamilun, handsome or beautiful. Make it feminine. Adding ta marbuta. Jamilatun. Okay. So let's learn some words. Feminine as heard from the Arabs. Uh, these type of isms in Arabic grammar has a name. Muannas sima'i. Heard. Sima' from samia, to hear. Muannas sima'i. You don't remember this term, just remember feminine as heard from the Arabs. Okay, there are some categories. If any ism is from these categories, they will be feminine as heard from the Arabs. So let's go through some of the famous categories, and we'll know. Number one category, name of wind. You may be saying, how come wind has names? Yes, like in English, we do have hot wind, cold wind. So in our Arabic, instead of using hot or instead of using the word cold, they have a word for it. They say that cold wind. Rihun, which is normal wind, we know. Rihun. Sarsarun, another wind which is cold wind. Badun, another type of wind. The next time you see rihun anywhere, you'll see it is used as muannas. Because there is no specific reason. There is no rihun is not muannas by definition. Rihun doesn't have any muannas signs, no ta marbuta, no alif maksura, no alif mamduda. Because Arab, they use this ism as muannas, we use them as muannas. So number one category, name of wind. Number two, name of wine. Khamrun, obvious wine. There's another name for it, tila'un. It's not used a lot, we never heard. But khamrun is muannas. Number three, name of fire. Again, do we have different fire names? Arab, yes. For example, narun, normal fire. Jahimun, hellfire. Jahannamu, again, hellfire. So all these three isms used in the Quran. When you read the Quran, look at the word narun, you'll see it is used as muannas. When you see jahimun, used as muannas. Jahannamu, used as muannas. Most parts of the body in pairs, one of the category, number four, which is, we have already done that. Yadun, aynun, udhunun, rijlun, qadamun, saqun, shin. I just thinking now, someone did say, yes, when asked you for shoulders, katifun, because most parts, not all parts in pairs, yeah, most parts. I just remembered, I'm a bit confused in this, is katifun, because one of the students says mudhakkar. I'm a bit confused. I need to find out that. So I take my words for it. Katifun, as I said, I don't know. Mudhakkar or muannas, we'll find out. But most parts of the body, all the examples are here, they're all used muannas. Yadun, aynun, udhunun, rijlun, qadamun, saqun. Are all muannas. So what's left? Shoulders, cheeks. Right? What about teeth. Okay, we'll look into that. Number 5 category, names of most countries. Again, most means, some will be used as mudhakkar, but most countries muannas. Misru, Ashamu, Arumu, muannas. The exception to this rule are 6 Arab countries. They are mudhakkar. They are Al-Maghribu, Al-Urdunu, Al-Iraqu, Al-Sudanu, Lubnanu, Al-Kuwaitu. Okay, so all we need to remember, the muannas by definition, muannas by signs, and we have 3 signs, ta marbuta, alif maksura, alif mamduda, and then feminine, heard from the Arabs, muannas sima'i. We have loads of words, nouns to memorize. I was looking for some examples from the Quran. Obvious, those are loads of examples. If we give other examples, we're not going to understand. I will try to only give examples what we have learned already. So we've learned Fail al-Madi. I'm going to give example of Fail al-Madi, which siga is used. Obviously, these are muannas. Muannas siga will be used. So obviously, if I take the word narun, does nar did any action in the past? You're hardly going to find the example in the Quran. Aynun, I did anything in the past? For example, Ardun, did anything in the past? Nifal Madi. So very little example of Fa'al al-Madi in the Quran. There's other examples used as muannas, yes. Like when we learn Fa'al al-Mudari, there'll be so many examples of Fa'al al-Mudari with one of these feminine nouns. So I found only a few, 2, 3, 4. Let's go through them. Number 1, tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. So here tabbat, فعل muannas is used, الفعل الماضي. You can see ta sakin on it. Tabbat. Why? Yada. We can see yadun, but there's alif there. What's the alif doing? Again, this alif is for muthanna. So in the next lesson, we'll be learning numbers. Then we'll know how to make muthanna. Yeah. So because yad is muannas, so tabbat is used. Okay, can anyone tell me if you take the ta sakin away, the fa'al is tabba. The fa'al is tabba. The way we have here, the fa'al is tabba, means to perish, to be finished, to be destroyed, to be perish. Tell me, what type of fa'al is this? We've learned the normal fa'al. Yeah. Then we've learned ajwaf, alif comes in the middle. Then we've learned naqis, alif comes at the end of the fa'al. Then we've learned muda'af. Out of 3, which type of fa'al is this? Is it ajwaf? Is it naqis? Is it muda'af? Yes, it's muda'af because we can see tajdeed on the last letter. When do we have tajdeed on any word? When there are 2 letters the same. We merge them Yeah. So Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab. Abu Lahab is a name. Yeah. When you apply the grammar, Abu changes to Abi. So Abi Lahab is the name. Yada, the both hands of Abu Lahab be destroyed or be perished. Watabba, and himself has perished. Next, wal arda farashnaha. Ha is muannas damir. Farasha is to lay or spread. And the earth, farashna, what siga is this? Fail al-madi. Look for the fa'il, look for the maf'ul. Farashna, what siga is this? Out of all 14 sigas, which one is this? Remember, we look the end of the fail to find the siga. Yes, Jama mutakallim. Jama mutakallim. And the na is the fa'il. What is the ha? The mir is attached, is maf'ul. And this ha muannas is referring to al-ard. Now we know al-ard is muannas. Then we have ash-shamsa idha tala'at. Ash-shamsa idha tala'at. And there should be sukun. Even we don't put sukun, still we know it has to be sukun. Tala'a, to rise. Why is muannas siga used here? Because of shams. But where is the fa'il? We've learned every fail will have a fa'il, and fa'il always comes after the fail. After the fail. So there is no any ism after tala'at. The fa'il has to be muannas damir here. And the here is referring to ash-shams. Next, kullu nafsin ma kasabat. Kasabat. There is no any ism after kasabat, muannas. So why is kasabat muannas siga used? Let's look for the fa'il, which is here, damir, referring to nafs, soul. So nafsun is also muannas. Kullu nafsin, every soul. What is this ma? We've learned how to make fa'il madi negative by using ma. One of the tip or rule we've learned, if ma comes the beginning of a sentence of the fail, that ma will be ma negative, and ma in the middle of the sentence will be ma mawsula, which is alladhi. Whatever it earned, kasabat. Every soul, whatever it earned, there is something before this, will see. We'll find out. So every soul, everything that whatever it earned, we'll see. Okay, so these are the few examples from the Quran. So next time you read the Quran, if you come across any of these nouns, look before, look after, you'll find is used as muannas. So from this lesson, we know Mudhakkar and Muannas in more detail. We can remember this much, inshallah, we'll be okay. All right, the end of the lesson today. So inshallah, finish this lesson. We ask Allah to accept us. We ask Allah to give us barakah in our life, in our time. We ask Allah to protect us, protect our family. We ask Allah to protect our children, our youngsters. We ask Allah to make our youngsters to respect our elders, especially parents. Nowadays, many parents are very worried about their children. Many children don't listen, parents don't listen to elders. We only can ask Allah to help us. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.